Hi there! Check out all of these wonderful YouTube creators who have joined me today to do a farmhouse DIY collab. My name is Sandra and you're watching The Schwowin's Nest. For my farmhouse DIY, I decided to take this really old window and renew it, give it some life, and make it into farmhouse decor. The first thing I'm doing is just taking my sander and sanding off all of the rough edges and any of the chipped paint until it's nice and smooth. The second part of my prep is to wipe down all of the sawdust and paint with a damp cloth, and then I go over it with a dry cloth again, and I'm also going to clean off the glass with a wet rag and then polish it nice and shiny. Now I'm going to start painting. You can see that I've masked off the window. The last time I painted a window, I made a real mess because I didn't mask off. So I've taken that extra step this time to make it a little easier on myself. I'm also just using a plain white eggshell interior house paint. This is a gallon that I picked up for cheap at the Restore, and I just thought I'm just going to use this because it's a window and it's going to be fine for the wood frame. I ended up giving the window frame almost 3 coats. There was a couple of spots where the wood and the old paint was showing through, so I just wanted to make sure that there was even coverage. So even though I masked off the window, there was still a little bit of paint bleed through and some of the paint left over from the previous coats. So I'm just using my little razor scraper from the Dollar Tree and cleaning up the edges. I'm going to be stenciling on a few different phrases. I'm starting with the word welcome at the top pane, and I'm just using some chalk paint and a makeup sponge. Now this isn't going to be a full coat of paint. I would have needed to do it twice, but with chalk paint on glass, not really sure that it sticks a whole lot, especially if you wanted to say clean the window or dust it or wipe it. So what I'm doing is just putting a first coat on to give me the outline of what I need to paint. You can see here on the reveal that it's just a really light and faded, but it gives me a good outline for the next couple of steps. While I wait for the welcome to dry, I'm going to stencil in the word nest. I'm sure you saw my thumbnail. The sign says welcome to our nest. So I'm going to do the same thing with the word nest using my favorite capital letter stencils that I picked up at Michael's. I'll try to have that linked in the description box below. I'm not sure if they still carry them, but I will check it out for you. So when you're done watching my video, I would love it if you could go over to the playlist link in my description box and check out all the other ladies that joined me in this farmhouse DIY collab. There's so many of them. It was difficult to mention them all on this picture, but I think you'll probably recognize some of them. And if you don't, I would love for you to go over to their channels, hit the subscribe button, watch their videos, and tell them I sent you. Here's a better view of what the stencil looks like, and you can see that it's fairly faded, but that's okay because I'm going to be doing a couple of other things to show you how you can paint on glass and make it be long lasting. Using my fine tip CraftSmart paint pen, I'm going to just freehand the words to and our. So the sign will say welcome to our nest. Now I'm taking a fine tip brush and I'm just going to use the same paint that I used to sponge on it and just go over the letters and make them much darker. As I was doing this, after the first couple of strokes, I noticed that this is probably not the best use of this paint. So I decided to use my CraftSmart paint pens instead and go over all of the letters, outline them, and just color them in. The oil-based paints will hold up much better to a gentle cleaning. You still can't use anything like ammonia or acetone on them because it will take the paint right off, but a little dusting and a little bit of a water cleanup will be totally fine if this ever gets dirty. If you are new to my channel, I'd like to say welcome. If you've come over from one of the ladies in the collab, I'm so glad you're here. I'd love for you to hit that red subscribe button and join my YouTube family. We do a lot of fun things here on my channel, and I'm sure you'll get inspired. Now that the lettering is fully complete, I'm going to go ahead and freehand a couple of little chunky birds down at the bottom. I'm also going to have some branches and leaves coming through, and it will hopefully turn out to be a cute little sign that somebody will love to have in their home. So I'm not doing the paint first on these birds and the branches. I'm just going to use the paint pen itself. And there will be a little bit of a see-through texture to it. It's not going to be totally solid like, say, if you were using vinyl from a Cricut. But I think that also tends to add some character and also a little bit of more of a handmade feel to it. Just look at how cute these little birds turned out. I think they're just adorable. I'm going to start with a larger branch that the birds are going to be sitting on, and then I'm going to add some smaller twigs and some leaves. Just make it very whimsical and not too perfect. I want things to look a little bit rustic and more farmhouse. If you're not comfortable doing freehand, you can always just find a free printable online that you can set right underneath the glass, like I have my 2 pieces of paper, and just trace over with the paint pen. You could also use a Cricut, and if you've got one, hey, go ahead and print off a design with these little birds and branches, and you've got it made. I don't have a Cricut right now. I'm still debating on whether I need to get one. The other thing you could do is maybe you've got a stencil and you've got some birds, you've got some words. You can go ahead and just piece things all together and very easily be able to just trace it and then color it in. Now that I've got all my branches and leaves done, I'm going to just give this a dry brush with some black. I want to make all of those cracks and crevices pop, get some little distressing out of it, and make it look really old and rustic and farmhouse. I really love how this one turned out, and I'm hoping that someone will love it as much as I do and want to take it home. I'd like to thank all of my YouTube creator friends for joining me in this farmhouse DIY collab. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you did, I'd love for you to hit that red subscribe button and the bell to get notified when I upload new content. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next one.